Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, another fight has just been confirmed, and this one is a quite interesting matchup, and it comes in the light heavyweight division. Kind of. Alright? It has been reported by Boxing Scene and multiple sources that Sergey Kovalev will be taking on none other than Sullivan Barrera April 25th on DAZN at the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California, according to the Athletics' Michael Coppinger. So big shout out to Michael Coppinger doing his damn thing. Now listen, interesting fight because this is a fight that's been talked about before. You know, many of you may remember when Kovalev lost to, I think it was either Ward or Alvarez the first fight. I'm gonna say it was Ward, the second Ward fight. In between the second Ward fight and the first Alvarez fight, before the first Alvarez fight, this fight was talked about then, and I'm pretty sure if I go back in my library, I did videos about this fight back then. But it's happening now, and I'm gonna say the same things about this fight now that I did then when I made videos about it. I think this is a very dangerous fight for Sergey Kovalev. You know, Sullivan Barrera, I'll be honest with you, I think he's past it. I think he's seen better days. But then again, so has Sergey Kovalev. So these are two guys who have seen better days, who are both coming off losses. Kovalev is coming off a loss in which, in my humble opinion, I thought he took a dive. And even if he didn't take a dive, you know, Canelo's team went ahead and they scheduled the fight, and he didn't have a lot of time to rest and recuperate. But no excuses. He got his ass whooped, and it looks like, you know, he's never going to win a world title again, in my humble opinion. Sullivan Barrera, you know, he's coming off a loss to Jesse Hart, and that right there kind of tells you everything about where Jesse Hart is at, or about where Sullivan Barrera is at in this point of his career. The fact that he can't beat Jesse Hart's the world. So it's two guys who are definitely, I would say, I don't want to say shot, because I was just talking about how great Kovalev was before the Canelo fight, so I'm not going to call him shot. He's still good, but this is probably going to be the last big opportunity for both of them to do anything in boxing. And I think it'll be a very entertaining fight. I think it'll be a fun fight. I think it'll be an entertaining fight. And I'm not really sure who to favor. You know, I think conventional wisdom says that I probably should favor Sergey Kovalev because he's the more skilled fighter. He's got a better jab. He's got better boxing skills. He's the better power puncher. All the way around the board, Kovalev, in my opinion, is a better fighter. But Barrera, you know, Kovalev's weak to the body. Kovalev, we're not sure how he's going to come into the ring. He's a fighter that, after losses, sometimes he doesn't come back the best. You know, we've seen it with Ward. We've seen it, you know, with, you know, Alvarez a couple fights later. You know, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Kovalev. But they're not even fighting at light heavyweight. This fight is actually at a catchweight. So they're not fighting at 175. They're fighting at 180. So these guys will be bigger. And we'll see. You know, I'm very interested to see the form of both of them, because they're both old guys. This is a true old guy fight, and you know, sometimes these old guy fights are fun to watch. Kovalev, when he steps in the ring on fight night, he's 37, and Barrera's 38. So they're both on their last leg, and they almost don't even have a leg to stand on as far as being at the top of the light heavyweight division. But the winner of this fight will put a good feather in their cap and potentially move on to some bigger fights in the light heavyweight division. The loser, I'm going to say, probably thinks about retiring, and rightfully so, because Kovalev, I mean, there's not really much more he could accomplish in boxing. He got his big Canelo payday. He's been unified champion. He's been the #1 light heavyweight in the world for a period of time. He's been on the pound-for-pound list. There's not really much left for Kovalev to accomplish or prove in boxing. You know, he's had a great career. Barrera, I think he's been an overachiever, especially since he's hooked up with my man Derek Santos at Boca Pau. You know, Derek Santos has done great wonders for the career of Sullivan Barrera, and you know, got him to this level, because you know, people always wanted to hype him up as some sort of Cuban amateur sensation when he was not that. He's Cuban, yes, but he's not no amateur sensation. But he's a solid fighter. You know, during his best days, a solid top 10, you know, contender in the division, and it's not his best days anymore. So he's maybe a fringe top 20 light heavyweight at this moment in time. You know, he couldn't even beat Jesse Hart, who many of us saw got absolutely folded up by Joe Smith Jr. So I'm just saying, man, Barrera, Honestly, I think win or lose for both of them, they should retire. To be honest with you, I'm not saying this out of malice or spite. I'm a Kovalev fan, not as big of a fan as I used to be, but a Kovalev fan, and I'm a Sullivan Barrera fan. I like them both. I'm a fan of boxing, so I respect both these fighters. But they should both retire after this fight. To be honest with you, and I know they're not gonna agree with that because they're fighters, but Kovalev can't accomplish much more, and Barrera has lost to the Jesse Harts of the world. So how much better is he gonna get? Is he gonna beat Peter Biev or Vazdik or Bivol? I'm not so sure. I'm not really believing him. But nonetheless, this will be a good fight. It'll be an absolute banger, and it'll be part of an action-packed April 25th of boxing, which also will feature that's the same day that Inoue is fighting Casemiro. So we're gonna have a lot to do on that day. You know, I'm probably gonna be in Las Vegas for the Inoue fight, but if we're not in Las Vegas for the Inoue fight, who knows? Maybe we go live for that fight and this fight and do just one big live fight reaction extravaganza. We don't know. We'll treat it like we treat our relationship with women. We'll keep our options open. You know, we'll keep our options open. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up like on that note. Sullivan Barrera versus Sergey Kovalev finalized for April 25th on DAZN at a catchweight at the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California. Let me know what you guys think about the fight. What do you think? Who do you think will win? Do you think, you know, the loser of this fight should retire? Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just Kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.